Just know the On the Mic podcast, and as I was just told off air, I could have picked up the phone and called him earlier, and we would have gotten it done sooner. But super happy to talk to this man. He made a statement the last time he was inside the Bellator cage, and he returns in the main event at Bellator 293 against Marcelo Gome. He is Chicago's own Daniel James. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, baby. I'm good, Mike.
Well, not many people know, your story. It's a road less traveled. I've been following you for years, known you for years. Man, when you look at where you're at now, inside the top 10 of Bellator, I know that doesn't surprise you, but given just the career path you've taken, how does this all feel to you?
It feels, man. It feels really great. I'm excited. I'm excited to be one. You still see me, Mike?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out, though.
Oh. Okay. Hold on, let me just fix my phone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
There you go. There you go. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, man.
No, you're good.
Repeat the question, Mike. I'm sorry about that. Repeat the question.
Yeah, I was just asking, your career has taken the path of a road less traveled. You've been all around the world, and now here you are inside the top 10. I know being inside the top 10 in Bellator doesn't surprise you, but how do you feel where you're at, given how your career has gone?
And I feel good where I'm at, Mike. I just feel like, time worked itself out. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I've done, travel the world, fighting on the major promotions, getting a chance to build that fan base and fill that void. I feel that me coming back to the USA, signing up Bellator, being in the top 10, I feel this right where I should be and the right where I wanted to be. But I just feel that it happens the way it should have happened.
And how about this? You sign and you make your professional debut with Bellator all the way back in 2014. You return years later and do what you did, put the world on notice last November. Man, that's nearly 10 years. It was 8 years later. How surreal was that to be back with Bellator, beat Tyrell Fortune like you did? And did it all hit home for you?
Yeah, it always hit home for me. I came back to Chicago and then I signed with Bellator again. So I'm just like, yo, my whole career took a 360. And I started where I landed. You know what I'm saying? And I landed where I started. And I feel like the time when I went to Bellator, when I was a rookie like that, I feel like me not fighting with Bellator after that was the time for me to grow. And when I came back, it happened at the perfect moment when I was better, when I was more skilled. I had a lot of time to perfect a lot of different things. And I was coming back to let them know that, like, yo, you're not just bringing me home, you're bringing home a star. And I'm here to show you that, like, this is where I should be, this is where I belong, and this is where I will finish.
Well, you did finish Tyrell Fortune very early in the second round of the last fight. How confident were you going into that fight?
I was really confident going into the fight, though. I expected him to do what he do. He's a wrestler. And at the end of the day, you can teach a wrestler to box, you can teach a boxer to wrestle, but you can teach the athlete anything. But I know that him as a wrestler, he's a high-level wrestler. I want to recognize that. But I knew that when it came down to it, it don't matter how confident you is going into a fight, you still have to do what you do. And I was able to get up off the ground, get out of the choke, come out in the second round, and execute my game plan. And that's when I got up and I knew that, like, okay, it didn't take anything away from me when I went down. I'm still confident. I didn't lose a step. I just gave me a chance to reset. He didn't do nothing but piss me off. That's it.
One thing I know from following your career locally for so long is not only are you invested in yourself, you're invested in your community. And that's something that the fighters who stay in Chicago, that seems to be something so important to them. But especially you, Daniel James, why do you take as much pride as you take in yourself and your own career and being with Bellator where you're at now, why do you take so much credit or so much pride, excuse me, in helping out others and giving back to the community and training your everyday people?
Man, because the city made me. The city made me. The city bred me. The city gave me what I need. You know what I'm saying? And it's those individuals that's in the city, not everybody, but like I had my most support from these people in the city of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Guys like yourself, I've been knowing for a while. People that saw me grow up in the sport, and outside of the cage, outside of the ring, those people that always came around and just supported me doing everything, just always been real and genuine with me. And I always been about just trying to help out the kids or help out any individual that feel like they need some type of guidance or some type of motivation. I became self-motivated. I say to myself, if I didn't really have it growing up like that, why can't I get it and give it to somebody else? You know what I'm saying? And if I became self-motivated, why can't I help somebody else become motivated? You know what I'm saying? They don't have to suffer from what I went through. Let me just go and be a help. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every day I wake up, I should be able to inspire and touch somebody to do something big the next day because of my talent, my gift is for somebody else to see. And somebody else will say, man, I'm gonna jump in this lane, man. I'm gonna take a shot. And I put myself, represent myself as a role model, as a person that care about people and a person that just wanna, hey, I'm gonna rep where I'm from. I'm not the guy that made it and fighting and doing things and lead the city and give somebody else the pot of gold. I'm the guy that stayed in my city. I train everywhere else, but I stay here in the city. I stay with my coaches. I didn't leave. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything that everybody else do. I made my home here, and I'm going to continue to make my home here and show guys that, it ain't about where you going, who you train with. It's about what you do with who you got while you're there. You know what I'm saying? Stay humble. You know what I'm saying? And that's my message.
I love it, man. And also what I love is, especially in your division, given that you just turned 41, a lot of people might look at that and go, inside the top 10. Let's be honest, with a win on March 31st, you're inside the top 5. I already mentioned how you've taken a path less traveled by so many people, not just ordinary people, but there are fighters who would look at your career and go, that's crazy. I couldn't do it. And they would give up on themselves. I know that's not in your DNA. So at 41, with a chance to crack the top 5, and I say a chance, I know how I feel. I know how you feel coming into this. But with that possibility sitting right there, what do you want to do with Bellator now?
Man, I want to be Bellator champ. I want to be Bellator champ. I want to get that belt. I want to defend that belt. And and I want to invest into the next generation of fighters. To give them the opportunity to to make that jump and make that chance. And I want to start helping more athletes get to that next level of Bellator or UFC, whatever. I want to help those guys. I want to be a direction for them. I want to be able to say, hey, train this way, do this and do that, and just stay focused and get these guys to understand that stop thinking about the fight all the time. Understand the fact that it is a business. You have to be the market. Because at the end of the day, Bellator got to sell tickets. It don't matter how good you fight. They got to sell tickets. And if the fans don't like you, ain't no tickets going to be sold. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I look for. I look for winning this fight, breaking the top 5, becoming the top contender to fight for the belt, and help the company make a lot of fucking money when I fight Ryan Bader for this title shot. That should be the next step for Bellator. I win this fight. Bellator should say, give Daniel James a title shot, fight Ryan Bader, and bring that shit to Chicago. We're going to sell it out like we did last time. And it's going to be crazy. The market going to be stupid. It makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Well, you stole my next question. I was going to ask you about if you wanted to bring Bellator back to Chicago. I think we all know you want to do that. But one thing I do like about your division, and I don't disagree, that I do like that plan. You get this win here against Marcelo Gome, a title shot, maybe Linton Vassell's first, but if Ryan Bader takes care of that, I would love to see you and Ryan Bader. However, there's so many young contenders in this division. Given what you've been through throughout your entire career, given where you're currently at in your career, how exciting is it for you to test yourself against this young upcoming talent in this division?
It's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a staple in the game. So there's only two heavyweights from Chicago that's fighting like that. That's me and Curtis Blade. Curtis in the UFC on Bellator. You know what I'm saying? Curtis he has a main event fight coming up too. But when I told my manager, I'm gonna fight the youngest, the baddest, the toughest. I said, but the one thing that they lacking integrity. And like I told them, I fought against the toughest guys over in Europe, over in Russia, over in places like that. Those guys was 23, 25, 26. Some guys that got cut from the UFC came over to Russia fight. I beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference between being more of a veteran fighter that understand the game and actually being young in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Age ain't nothing but a number. Like, I'm in better shape than a lot of these cats that's 21, 25, like up into 40. I'm in the best shape. I'm in better shape than 80% of the roster. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, me getting in the ring with somebody younger, whatever, they want to say youth plays a part. Yeah, it does, but this is martial arts. This is not boxing. Martial arts just take you years to get a black belt. It take you years to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it takes development and skill to be in this type of sport. This is not a sport you rush and try to just say, oh, I expect to get to the top yesterday. This sport takes time because it's martial arts, Mike. You know what I'm saying? So this is not like anything else. You can play basketball and football. You can't play fighting.
No.
Especially MMA. You know what I'm saying?
No, you cannot. I know he has said his interest may be in other promotions, but I've got to ask you, because he's the biggest free agent on the market. He's in your division. Would you welcome Francis Ngannou to Bellator MMA?
Oh, hell yeah, I welcome Francis Ngannou to MMA. Francis Ngannou, he's the man, man. I don't take nothing from the big fella. Man, I'm a fan of him, man. Great knockout power, man. I hate what went on with him with the UFC. I felt that was his home. But right now, I heard about Francis going to PFL and Francis going to ONE FC. Me personally, I don't think it makes sense for him to do that. What makes sense is for him to sign with Bellator, and Bellator is connected with the Showtime with Bellator. He still get a chance to be prime time and have these fans in the USA really see him. And I'm not putting anything negative towards PFL or anybody else, but they're not Bellator or UFC. You know what I'm saying? So I think Francis should really step back and evaluate what he's doing and make sure his team is thinking about his best interest. And if it's the money thing, I'm quite sure that, that thing can work out. But like I said, as a guy like Scott Coker look at the big picture. Scott Coker look at the picture. Hey, listen, we got a division, we doing our thing, and, we'd love to have you. But, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to just heal our organization to try to just for one individual, you know what I'm saying? We have a roster of up-and-coming talent and things like that. But I would definitely welcome Francis to Bellator. And that'd be amazing, man, to see him come to Bellator and get a chance to have a fight against him and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I like what you said about the Showtime angle, because if he does have an interest in boxing, we've seen Scott Coker be open to letting fighters do, other avenues in their career. But before I get you out of here, and I promise next time.
But I'm sorry, but I would definitely take the boxing fight against Francis.
I would love to see it.
I would love to
see it. Your opponent, Marcelo Golm, 30 years old, coming into this fight on a 4-fight win streak. You're in the main event at Bellator 293 on March 31st, which will be on the already mentioned Showtime. What should we expect from Daniel James in this fight against Marcelo Golm?
Come out, do what I do, execute my game plan, touch him up a little bit and get my hand raised. You know what I'm saying? Not doing anything out of the ordinary, just doing what I do, what I train for, and that's to be a winner. And I just plan on him coming out trying to do the same thing. So we both got to be in the ring and big boys and do what we do. And at the end of the day, keep your hands up, don't blink, you're a heavyweight.
And simply put, your message in that fight and to the rest of the division is you're coming for the belt?
I'm coming for the belt. I'm definitely coming for the belt. Black, red, and gold. That's the color of their belt. I want that. And I ain't going to stop until I get that belt. It won't take long for me to get it, though, but I will have it.
Well, I know the city of Chicago is very proud of you. I'm very happy to see your career where it is, and I'll be very excited to watch Bellator 293 on March 31st. Daniel James in the main event taking on Marcelo Gome. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate the time, and I promise I won't slack next time. You'll hear from me.
I got you, man. Mike, you take it easy, man. I appreciate the call, appreciate the video, the interview, and man, anytime.
Thank you.